Hello, welcome back to Rose Garden Gems. It's September 9 and it's 6:30 in the evening here in Lower Franconia, Germany, and we have 13 degrees. The temperature dropped drastically this week, and we had lots of rain the last days. I was just finished cutting my Thuja occidentalis smaragd trees. They are nicely formed now. I really like these trees because they are giving me a structure in the garden, especially in the cold months. And she is very near to a rose that I would like to share with you, because this topic today is about the best performers in my garden. And the Thuja is very near to this rose called Souvenir de Baden-Baden. Look at the growth that she has now, in spite of the very high temperature we had the last weeks. So it has a lot of new growths and carrying buds now. This is a hybrid tea rose, and she is going to have another flush, which is now the third one. Overall, it's what you consider as a very good performer in the garden, because it has given me a lot of flowers this season, and it is very healthy, although a few of yellow leaves she got this month, or last month already it started, but she is a great performer, and the rose itself is a big huge rose, so she's one of the best performer in the garden. This is Schloss Ippenburg, one of my oldest here in the garden, and as you can see, it has a lot of new growth too, which carried a lot of buds. So this will be the third flush, and it has even some buds opened now, and I consider her as a good performer in this garden, because this rose, even though got some problems with the leaves, it's non-stop giving me flowers, and it's very huge flower and highly scented. It's considered as a good performer in the garden this season. This is Caramella from the Fairy Tale collection of Kordes. I consider her a remarkable performer this season. She was cut very low early spring, and I thought she will not survive, but the opposite. She was very floriferous this year, has given me lots of flowers, and she has some few buds now, but this will be the third flush, and she had two flushes which was covered with so many flowers. The next flower is Sneewittchen, also known as Iceberg. I like the simplicity of the flower of this rose and the color of pure white, and this is now the third flush. She is very prolific, and this is one of the roses that flowers in abundance in my garden. So one of the big performer in this garden. These English roses, this is for your eyes only, single petal rose, and this one is blue for you, also a single petal rose. They were really performing well this year. They had plenty of flowers, and I think one of the first roses that has given me lots of blooms early or late spring. They started even late spring. So there were, as far as I can remember, there were abundance of flowers and was really prolific. Is a very good performer too in my garden. And look at this. This is Lady Capri. I will remove one to see the beauty of this now. She is actively producing flowers, and I introduced this rose to you in my previous video. She is, I think, 3 years in my garden now, and I bought her even as a bare-rooted rose, and she was non-stop flowering this year. This is her third flush and a very beautiful flower. Look at this. I really like her, Lady Capri from Rose and Tantau. And the smell is still there. Yes, it has a lovely smell. Really beautiful. And as you can see, it got some yellow leaves there, but it's very minimal. Overall, she is a very healthy rose and a very good performer in the garden this year. This is Meilland Zauber, also known as Bliss Parfuma, and belonging to the Fairy Tale collection. I considered her one of the good performer in the garden this year. She had 3 flushes and really produced a lot of flowers, even on the very high temperature the last weeks. So this is from Kordes, and I really like her. And very near Meilland Zauber, I also considered as a good performer in the garden. This is Die Schöne from Sie. She was non-stop giving me flowers this year. And another rose from Parfuma collection. This is Madame Anisette. She was performing incredibly this year. Got lots of flowers in the first flush and second flush. And very healthy rose. Look at this, how beautiful the leaves are. Very green and really healthy. There might be few yellow leaves, but very minimal. And look at the growth she has this time of the year. It's a very long stem. I might cut this then and plant it as in my cutting experiments. Among the roses that I have cuttings that I experimented, she's the one that has grown a lot. I show it to you later. I planted cuttings from Madame Anisette in a pot, and it grew really well and also flowered this year. Another good performer in my garden is this climber called Elsie Kroon, and as of now you can see some flowers on her. She is highly scented. It's from Kordes, and she has a very beautiful flower. It has this light apricot bud, and then it will end up into a white color. This is one of my favorite also in my garden. This is called Elsie Kroon. Really beautiful rose. And she has still some flowers now. Really beautiful. New addition to my garden. This rose made me so happy this year. This is one of the roses that is non-stop flowering in my garden this year. David Austin rose called Olivia Rose Austin. I would clap my hands for her. She was really a good performer, was very healthy all the time. Only this time that she got some discoloration on her leaves, but all the time, even with the very high temperature, she was very green, and she has given me lots of flowers this year, so I'm very thankful for this rose. This is Madame Louise, and I was very much impressed with her first flush, because the first flush was really incredible. She had a lot of flowers and really big blooms, and I can remember the scent that it filled the air here with this sweet lemon scent. And although the second flush was not so admirable, she got very small flowers, I think affected by the very high temperature in high summer. So but the first flush, I was very happy with this rose. Another good performer in my garden is Leonardo da Vinci red. She was really in abundance of flowers from first flush to the third flush. This is now part of the third flush. I already cut all the wilted flowers, but as you can see, she is really full of clusters of flowers in each stem, and I really like this rose. This is one of the oldest in the garden, already 13 years in the garden, but always performing well. The pink Leonardo da Vinci was affected by the replanted in a different location. So, but this one stayed in one location, and it performed really well every year. She doesn't have scent, but the amount of flowers that it produces made her very good performer in the garden. This is Stan Thaler from Fairy Tale collection of Kordes. She had fully completed 3 flushes this year. Very productive and very floriferous. Normally she has huge yellow flowers and a medium scented rose. She is normally very healthy. A few leaves are with discoloration now, but is a very very healthy and a good performer rose in the garden. Another rose that I will consider as a good performer in the garden is Princess Charlene de Monaco. She was really performing well, had 2 flushes this year, and was really abundant of really highly scented roses, a very beautiful color. And as of now, she has lots of new growth for new buds, and this will be the 3rd flush. We called her a Duft Jewel in German, Princess Charlene de Monaco. The 3rd place of the best performer in my garden is Acappella. She is one of the oldest in my garden. She is a very beautiful rose, and look at her producing again new sets of buds and roses. And the first and the second flush were incredible. She was covered with huge rose flowers, and the smell, the scent of this is also incredible. So I really love this rose. I think she is already 13 years in my garden and non-stop producing really lots of flowers. And the first flush, it was so incredible with its huge flower. So I really, she's really belonging to the top roses in my garden in terms of performance. So Acappella. This is Cobra Festival. This is a climber, and this rose made me so happy this year, especially with its first and second flushes. And this is the third flush now. She was really performing well and had lots of flowers in the first and second flushes. And even the last weeks, when there was still sun and a high temperature, the smell of this rose filled the air. So I declared her as my second best performer in my garden, and I'm so glad to have this rose in my front garden. It's really an honor to have this rose in my garden. Cobra Festival. And for the winner, the first place for the best performer, a rose performer in my garden, I would say Graven Diana. Graven Diana has enticed me every day this season to look at her. She is incredible in terms of its shape, the scent, and the growth and the healthiness of this. Although lately she got some yellow spots with the leaves, but she was non-stop without a rose. Even with the high weather, the form and the color of the rose was not affected, and also the scent. So I would say this is the #1 rose in my garden. I planted this rose as a bare-rooted rose, and this is quite long in my garden, and I really appreciate the performance of this rose every year. She's belonging to the Parfuma collection of Kordes, and we are lucky to have a beautiful flower now at this around this time of the year, and it's still producing lots of buds. So the #1 is Graven Diana, also known as Dark Desire, and Royal Parfuma. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be looking forward to see you in my next video. Thank you for your time.